Coming to you direct from Silencer Shop Studios, home of the Glass Case of Emotion.
SilencerShop.com, the easiest way to buy silencers online, period.
Stand by for education, enlightenment, enjoyment, and entertainment.
He's not here to talk about your feelings. He's not here to say what you want to hear. He's here to say what needs to be said.
Ladies and gentlemen and children of all ages, please welcome your host, the pimp hand of America, Professor Paul Markel.
And welcome to Tuesday. According to the calendar on the wall, it's Tuesday, July 12th, which is also known as Amazon Prime Day. Isn't that correct, Jared?
That is correct.
Worldwide, it is Prime Day. And I'm a Prime...
What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm a Prime member. I'm guessing it means that... I don't know. We could look it up. I just know that I keep hearing commercials about it. Amazon Prime. And no, Amazon Prime does not sponsor Student of the Gun. But it's Prime Day, so there you go. So you you can get they've got sales. You can get a dash button for 99 cents.
Every day's Prime Day here. So wait, hold on. You're going to pay them 99 cents so you can buy their stuff easier.
So you can get the button. Yeah.
Yeah, but that just makes it easier for you to give them money.
Yeah, but you have to put value on things, because if you don't put value on it, then people don't appreciate it.
I know. I'm just like, how do you get that gig? How do you get people to pay you?
You have to ascribe. You have to assign value to something. To
make it easier for them to give you money.
I don't know.
Well, Amazon has it figured out.
You know what's funny is 10 years ago, Amazon was a joke.
Yeah.
Amazon was an internet joke because they hadn't turned a profit. And people were making fun of them, like sitcom TV shows made fun of Amazon.
Oh, they were literally a joke?
Yeah.
I've never seen any shows that...
No. They used to, like 10, 15 years ago, when Amazon first came out, it was years before they turned a profit.
Did you know that 10 years ago I was only 16?
Yeah, so you probably weren't paying close attention.
Yeah. I was like doing other stuff, apparently.
No, Amazon, there's like a joke on a Family Guy or cartoon show or something, and it was like the year 2050. And they're like, yeah, this year Amazon turned a profit. Yeah.
Well, I think, it happened a little before that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But anyway, yeah, that was the joke, was that Amazon, that how could they stay in business when they hadn't turned a profit and so forth. Maybe they had a long-term goal. Maybe that's something that Hollywood people don't understand. They don't understand long-term goals. They want instant gratification, because that's the world that we live in. The world that we live in is the instant gratification world. And if I can't have it now or in 5 minutes, then I don't want it. Actually, that's how Amazon capitalized on. That's how they made a success, because they know that the American people are a bunch of like ADD squirrels. And if they can't have it now or tomorrow, then they don't want it. And so what do?
Enter Prime Shipping.
Enter Prime Shipping, buddy.
And instant video.
Yeah, exactly.
And music that you can download without buying a CD.
I was thinking about that the other day about cassette tapes. Every once in a while, a song will come on the radio, and I'll think, I used to have that tape. Or I had that album. An album or a record. I have record albums now. I'm looking at them. Well, as we talked about yesterday, just briefly, Jared actually took himself a little vacation. But yesterday's show was critically important that we discussed the matters that we discussed. So we didn't have much time to, just, take care of some personal business. And I thought we would give Jared just a little bit of microphone time to maybe describe what he saw and what he did.
Oh, you want me to do that now?
No, I want you to do it tomorrow.
Okay, I'll do it tomorrow. Alex went to Salt Lake City for a business convention. And then so I left for vacation on June 28th. And I drove from Biloxi to Salt Lake City to meet her, stayed there for a night. And then we went down because we were in Utah. There's this place called Moab, the national park. And I didn't know this, but apparently Moab is where a lot of the Discovery Channel pictures are taken. I mean, not Discovery Channel, Nat Geo.
Okay.
They take a lot of pictures and do a lot of video there.
Oh, that's where they have the arches and the very famous, the buttes and mesas and so forth.
Yeah, Moab is Arches National Park is what it's called.
I got you.
And we had time to go to two different trails. One was called Balanced Rock, which was, it was okay. It was just like a rock balanced on some more rocks. But then the second one we went to was called Windows, and it was pretty amazing. We got to climb up into these arches that look like windows, and it wasn't really a long hike, but it was to get up into the arch and sit like on the edge and look across the land. It was kind of hard to get up there. We went from Moab to Tahoe. We drove across the loneliest road in America. That's what it's deemed by.
That's what it's called.
Some reporter, yeah.
The loneliest road in America. I think the loneliest road in America is the highway from the eastern border of Kansas to the western border of Kansas.
I haven't driven.
I think that's the loneliest highway.
This one was in Nevada, and it was Highway 50. And when I got to the end of it, it had like a Highway 50 survival guide, because we stopped in a place called Fallon, Nevada, and we slept there because we couldn't drive anymore. And I woke up, and that was on the other end. So we started on Utah end of Nevada, and then we made it all the way to almost to Tahoe. It was like an hour and maybe 2 hours away.
And the
so
California side.
Yeah. So we stopped for the night. And when I got up in the morning at the hotel, they had a little survival guide. It said Highway 50 survival guide. There were 7 cities, I believe, along the route. And if you stopped at 5 of them and got the seal, the city seal, like from the council.
Oh, they stamp your thing?
Yeah.
Like a passport?
Yeah, they stamp it, and then you can mail it in, and they send you like a survival package of some sort. But I didn't know that until the end. And I'm like, I'm not driving back across that.
It would have been nice to know that at the beginning. Huh?
Yeah, it would have been nice.
Ah, well.
So we stopped in Fallon, went from there to Tahoe. It was beautiful. I don't know. Did you see pictures that I sent you?
Mm-hmm.
And you come in off the mountain. So you drive up really high, and then you drive down, and you just see a big lake and a bunch of trees. And it was amazing. Doesn't sound that great, but you should see it.
It's radio. It's hard to translate.
Yeah.
It's hard to translate on the radio.
Just go look at my Instagram. I posted pictures throughout
there you
the
go.
vacation. PT Jared on Instagram.
That's right. If you're not following Jared, then you're wrong.
Yeah. Well, we were going to hike up to the top of the waterfall, but we parked, and then where we went to the trail, we were already on top of the waterfall, so we didn't have to hike.
Oh, there you go.
And then we went from Tahoe down to a place called Sonoma, and that we stayed in Sonoma for 4 days, I believe, because that's where most of her family. It's like a central location. She grew up in Vacaville, which is in Northern California. And so we stayed in Sonoma, and we actually stayed at a really nice B&B, and our host she was awesome.
Was it an Airbnb, Jared?
Yeah. It was great. What I learned is there's 2 different kinds of Airbnbs, or there's 2 different levels, I guess. You can pick to stay in a house where like the people are still there.
Oh, okay.
I've never done personally, but I've heard stories about it. And then
like a traditional B&B where you sleep upstairs and the host has a bedroom downstairs, and you wake up and they're there in the kitchen in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and in Moab we stayed in a B&B, and it was like this lady's house, and she had built an add-on with 3 rooms. It was kind of like a little hotel, but not, because she got up in the morning and she cooked us breakfast, and she took our breakfast order and stuff the night before. That was
that's the whole bed.
Yeah, I know, but that was the first time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Everybody calls their stuff B&Bs, and it's not that anymore. We did a lot of stuff in Sonoma. We went to the Winchester Mystery House, it was crazy. I don't even know what was going through that lady's mind.
Oh, that was it the History Channel? There was a History or Discovery something. There's like a full 1 hour or plus episode of the Winchester House about the heir to the Winchester fortune, and they told her that if like a gypsy or somebody told her if she stopped building on her house, she would die. Yeah, and so she
just kept building.
She kept like adding and adding and adding and adding and adding.
There's some weird stuff in there.
But she died anyway, though.
There's this, yeah. Apparently, it's the legend has it that when she died, the people that were supposed to be building were actually playing poker, so they weren't building.
They were playing cards.
Yeah, or cards.
They should have kept building.
Yeah.
Now, how old was she when she died, though? I bet we could find out.
I would say I don't even think he told us that. Or maybe he did, but I was just so intrigued with all the crap that she had in there. Like, there were cupboards that went to the wall. You could fit nothing in the cupboards.
It was just a cupboard.
Yeah,
just
you opened
a door.
the doors and the wall was there. And then there was another set of cupboards that opened up and that went into the other room. So you had like an entire room full of cupboards. It was weird. She had like windows in the ceilings. They had a greenhouse room, a green room, I guess you'd say.
Mm-hmm.
They had an elevator where they would take the plants up and they would just put them in the room and they would grow them and then they would take them back downstairs. It was weird. But that was actually the last day in Sonoma that we did that. The first day we just chilled. We kind of had a down day where we didn't do much because we were pretty tired from driving. And the second day we went to Muir Woods with her dad, and Muir Woods is redwoods. They're like the tallest trees that exist ever. And then the third day we went to the Winchester Mystery House. And then we left Sonoma and we went to the Monterey Bay Aquarium. And some point in those days we went to San Francisco. I don't remember which day that was. But
and you survived?
Yeah, I survived. I didn't come back with a lisp, and I didn't die.
I don't know. You need to get to the doctor and get checked. Make sure you don't have anything.
But we went to Ghirardelli Square, and we got...
Oh, with the chocolate?
Yeah, we got the original Ghirardelli hot fudge sundaes. They were delicious. Now nothing is going to be the same. I got to try a bread bowl, San Francisco bread bowl with clam chowder. That was pretty good. When we crossed into California, gas went up about $1.
$1 per gallon, huh?
Yeah. And then when we
Gotta love that socialism.
Yeah. And so, when we came out of California, it went down about 70 or 40, I think it was 45 cents immediately, and then gradually got cheaper as we got away from California.
If you're listening to us in California right now,
yeah,
gas in Mississippi is $1.88 a gallon.
Yep.
So there you go.
California is beautiful. It was nice. The weather was great. But there's just things that you can't do.
It's too beautiful and it's too nice, and it makes people soft and weak.
Yep. Yeah. There is nothing there I was trying to ask people, like, what is the bad thing? What bad weather do you have? And the only thing they had was earthquakes.
And mudslides.
Mudslides, yeah.
Yeah, mudslides, earthquakes, and they have wildfires. California has a lot of wildfires.
Yeah, it's a fire-based economy there.
Fire-based economy.
Yeah.
Now, you took something with you, and we got to wrap up your part of the episode here, but you took something with you. You took a new tool. You tested and evaluated a new tool.
Yeah, the Man Pack.
On your 2-week vacation.
Yep. I did a lot of hiking. After Sonoma, we went to Yosemite. We hiked to Upper Falls. It took us about a 6-hour round trip hike. I wore the Man Pack for that hike, and it was much better than the big, huge pack that I had. And I could still fit pretty much everything that I needed in there. I couldn't put blankets in there, but I had the pocket survival kits with the blanket in it, so I wasn't really worried about it.
So you filled it up. You didn't tear it. You didn't.
Nope, it's not torn.
No buckles broke.
Nope.
No.
I don't think it has any buckle. Oh, it has one buckle
on the strap.
Everything else is magnetic and zipper. But yeah, it passed the hiking test, the outdoor test.
Well, I tell you what you should do. We should do a quick video. We won't do the video on the radio, but we should do a video here in the studio since we have the capability to do that now, and we kind of owe them one. We could do a video of the Man Pack and all the things that you can carry in it. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Man Pack, it's kind of the, I don't know. I don't want to say something too immature, but it's for those who fear fanny packs.
Yeah.
Because they fear that it steals their manhood. It's the opposite. And it also actually, the guys at Man Pack, they sell a ballistic insert, a bullet resistant insert that's a level 3A body armor. That covers, it's like a 10 by 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
So you could actually hold the pack up in front of you as a shield or turn it around and put it over your vitals and engage. So it's an interesting item. We'll be talking about that later. All right. Well, thank you, Jared, for enlightening us. Yeah, Jared was gone. He left Zach and I behind to mind the business, to watch over the chicken coop while he was gone. And we did it to the best of our ability, even though last Friday we weren't able to get a morning mindset up. Last Friday it was not good. It was a not fun day just for America and for us. And I was pissed off all day, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I was just pissed all day long.
So before I end my part, I just want to say that I got to see Cork Graham. I saw him in San Francisco. He was there visiting. And I saw Dano from SWAT Fuel. We actually spent the night with Dano. He's got some cool stuff coming out. And then on the way home, I got to see Mike Deddy, the author of Guns Across the Border. And if you haven't read that book yet, you're wrong.
That's right. All three people whose voices you have heard on Student of the Gun Radio at various occasions. So, all right. Speaking of people who are friends of Student of the Gun Radio, Duracoat is. And this weekend, I started a Duracoat project. I'm not done yet because I'm taking my time, but I will show you guys pictures very, very soon. And if you're not following us on Instagram or on Facebook or any of the social media, well, then you're not going to get to see the pictures. How's that sound? Duracoat, because life is too short to have an ugly gun. Brownells at brownells.com. You can pick up Duracoat products while you're there at Brownells. How convenient is that? And you can get ammo and magazines and all that other good stuff to go with them.
Attention, new listeners. We produced a free training video series called 7 Training Tips That Could Save Your Life. We want you to have access to this life-saving information. Get instant access now at studentofthegun.com. Do you watch Student of the Gun TV, read the blog, and follow us on Facebook? If you answered no to any of those questions, you are wrong, but you can easily fix yourself. Go to studentofthegun.com to find everything SOTG.
That's right. If this is your first time here, congratulations and welcome. And you might be wondering what you've gotten yourself into. Well, you can just go to studentofthegun.com and you can take your time and explore and read and watch and listen. And it'll be okay. It'll be all right. We have a lot of friends here, and one of our friends, as Jared just mentioned, Dr. Dan Olesnicki, Dan O of SWAT Fuel. And SWAT Fuel, it's does a body good. It's for stronger minds and sharper bodies, or stronger bodies and sharper minds. Either way, go to Student of the Gun. I'm sorry, not Student of the Gun. Go to SWATFuelStore.com, and while you're there, use the promo code SOTG2015. This weekend, one of the things I did, Jared, you know what I decided I was going to do on Friday? When I was pissed off, and I've decided that when I'm annoyed, pissed, frustrated, I'm going to deliberately do something positive. I'm going to deliberately do something productive with my time. And so what I did on Friday, after we put up the delayed morning mindset, I went and I got the oil changed in my truck. I said, you know what? That's a productive thing to do. I got the oil change in my truck. So at very least, I did something productive.
Did you know that the place on 49 has Ladies' Day, Ladies' Night, Ladies' Day on Sundays?
Really?
You get like $10.
The oil change thing is Ladies' Day? Oh, yeah. No kidding. I didn't know that.
Take 5 on 49.
Ah, okay. And something else that you could do productive, and I did it this weekend, is I did firearms maintenance. How many of you have neglected cleaning your guns for a while? Admit it, you have. So I busted out the Frog Lube Solvent and the Frog Lube Extreme, and I cleaned up some guns. And so that was another productive thing. So now, even though I was annoyed and pissed off, now I have a truck with a fresh oil change, and I have some recently lubed and cleaned guns. And I am carrying a gun right now because I am an American and I am a free man, and I'm carrying it in a Crossbreed holster. And if you want to carry a gun or you want to attach a gun to your body or anything else, just go to crossbreedholsters.com. And if you see him, one of our friends, who was it? I'm sorry, I don't have it open right now, but one of the grad program people was in Branson, Missouri. Now, Branson, Missouri is not too far away from the Crossbreed headquarters. And they stopped by and got their picture taken in front of the Crossbreed headquarters, and I guess said hello to the people. So that's very cool.
Was it? Didn't they say they were closed on Sunday? I think I
just saw the picture while we were preparing the show notes that one of our fans stopped by.
Okay, yeah. I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine they're closed on Sundays. They let their people go home. They don't have to work every day.
Attack, front to back, in this thing called rap. Thinking like a double rhyme double on the heavenly level. Bang the bass, turn up the double. Blast the mind, day and night all the time. 714, flies the line. Maniac, radiac, win of the game. I'm the lyrical Jesse James.
Yeah, that's what I was listening to while I was doing my show prep. And you know what they say, Jared? Quality I possess. Some say I'm fresh when my voice goes through the mesh of the microphone that I'm not holding. I'm not actually holding it. We have stands for our black carbon steel microphones. But if I was holding it, I would still be fresh. The power. That goes all the way back to when I was a young man. That was before your time even, Jared.
Yeah, that was. Well, it's only got 42 million views on on YouTube.
I think that came out. I'm not even going to say it. I know that it came out while I was in the Marine Corps infantry.
Well, right here it says July 10th, 2007.
No, that's not when that song was released. Because I Will Attack, and you don't want that. That's what I had written on my helmet during Desert Storm. I had I Will Attack on the front, and you don't want that on the back. And you get in trouble for writing stuff on your helmet covers, but when you're actually when you get a little bit loosey-goosey when you're in combat and you write smart alecky stuff on your helmets, it's okay. How to make America strong again. I was talking to my friend Shane Iverson last night on the phone, and Shane, he's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and as you guys know, if your listener is a student of the gun, he's a retired U.S. Army Master Sergeant, and he was a team sergeant for a Special Forces team, an A team. And we were talking about the state of the nation, the state of the union, and he said, man, I hope that we can get things back on track without having to go to take extreme measures. And we all hope that. And him and we got into a conversation afterwards about that hope and that desire, and I believe that most of you out there, your family and your friends, and you're looking out, you're reading the news. Nobody reads the news. We watch the news. We see the news. We scroll on our Facebook feeds or our Twitter feeds or whatever, and we're confronted every day. Unless you're a radical hippie a-hole, if you're a decent American, you care about the future of the country, you care about your children's future, you're probably a bit frustrated. You're probably a bit angry. You're probably sad. You're probably depressed. Every day you're bombarded by this. And you wonder, is this nation ever going to be strong again? Are we ever going to be whole? Are we ever going to be solvent? Well, step number one, I'm going to ask you something. For all of you out there, reasonable people, all of you who consider yourselves to be centrist or moderate or reasonable, and I know a lot of you have friends and family members, and maybe even you cast your vote for the communist community organizer who was mentored by a convicted terrorist in Chicago because you thought 8 years ago, how many of your friends, relatives, coworkers thought that this was a great time in America? For the first time in American history, we're going to have a half-black president. And it's going to be wonderful. And it's going to end racism. There'll be no more racism. I can prove. And how many of your acquaintances went out and they cast their vote for the community organizer, the inexperienced community organizer who voted present the majority of the time he was a senator, because they thought that would prove once and for all that America was not a racist nation, and they could eliminate some of that manufactured guilt that they were carrying around with them. It's been about 8 years now. Let's be honest. Is the United States of America a more peaceful a more solvent, a more calm, a more united nation today than it was in 2008? Or is it less so? Well, unless you're a freaking retard or completely dishonest, you need to answer. The answer to that question is no. It's not more united. It's not more calm. It's not more peaceful. It's the exact opposite. The communist community organizer who was mentored by a convicted terrorist. Yeah, I'm going to keep saying that because apparently I'm the only one in America that knows or cares that the person that we elevated to the highest seat in the nation, one of their mentors was a convicted radical terrorist. Yeah, but no big deal. But no big deal. He's half black. And so that makes me a good person. I can vote for a community organizer who's half black, and then I can go on with my life feeling good about myself. All you have to do is open up your news feed or pull up your Twitter account or your Facebook account to see what's going on in the United States of America today. The nation is divided like no time in recent history. And something else that Shane and I talked about last night is he's about the same age as me. He's actually got about a year on me. What you probably don't know, and Jared, I know you don't know this because you went to public school in the last 20 years. All right, Jared, if I was to ask you, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to impromptu ask Jared something. Jared, the decade of the 60s, if I say the 60s, what immediately pops into your mind?
The most prosperous time in America.
The 60s.
Peace, love, dope, hippies.
The 60s are portrayed in the popular media culture as the age of Aquarius, the age of free love, peace, love, dope, hippies.
Oh, the 60s.
The 60s. Peace, love, dope, Woodstock, can't we all get along, all that stuff. What you don't know and what you don't remember, most of you, is that in the 60s, the nation was torn apart. The National Guard was called up in state after state after state to put down riots. There were riots all over the United States of America. Race riots, and I don't remember when the ones in Watts went down. There were riots in Detroit I believe it was the 1964, don't hold me to it, but we had presidential conventions. We had Republican Party and Democrat Party national conventions. We had elections in, I believe, 64 and 68. And there were riots, literal riots. I believe that's when Comrade Barry's mentor, Bill Ayers, was involved in the nefarious behavior that they were bombings. There were bank robberies. The police officers were assassinated, all during the 60s. But you don't remember that, do you? No, you don't. Because that's not what the media portrays to you. What they portray is that the 60s were all about the psychedelic revolution and flower children and so forth. Now, the 60s in America was a violent time. We're heading right back to that place as a nation. America is not strong. America is weak. The United States of America today is weak. It's broken. It's divided. How do we make it strong again? And we go back to that, well, maybe we can make it strong again by just wanting it to. Or I promise to vote in November. That's how I'm going to make the nation strong again. I'm not going to do anything until November, and then I will cast my vote. And then once I've cast a vote, I will be done caring for 2 to 4 years. It's not going to fix it. And the equation I have for you is this. When people get in their 30s and 40s, and they feel in their minds, I know this because it happened to me. You get into your 40s, your 30s, your 40s, and you feel like in your mind you're still in your 20s. You still think like you're 20 years old. You still think that you're the 21-year-old Lance Corporal. Now, you guys probably don't think you're a 21-year-old Lance Corporal, but or you still feel like you have the metabolism that you had when you were 18, 19, 20 years old. But now you're 40 and you don't. And even though the scale doesn't reflect it, you're not 20 anymore. But you feel like it. You think, I'm good. I'm doing all right. But while you're thinking that, you're getting soft. Let's face it. Everybody goes through soft periods in their life. And it wasn't hard to stay fit when you were a teenager, probably. Most people aren't. It wasn't hard. You were strong. You were fit. You could eat pizza all day, drink, stay out all night. You could stay out till 3 o'clock in the morning, get up at 6 and go to work. And you're good. I would die today if I did that. If I stayed out till 3 in the morning and got up at 7 a.m. to go to work, I'd be worthless. I would feel like I was going to die. But I used to do that when I was in Marine Corps. Man, we stayed out till 1, 2, get up at 06, go all day. Because I was in good shape. A lot of us view the United States of America today like it's the USA of our grandparents. Like it's our grandparents' America. Like it's the 1950s. And we believe that, well, in the end, everybody in America, we have various opinions. We all have different opinions, and everyone has a right to their opinion. And we don't always agree, and we don't always get along. But at the end of the day, everyone cares about the fate of the nation, and everyone supports the country. Everybody wants what's best for the United States, even though we have different ways of going about it. That's how my dad was raised, my mom. Your grandparents, that was the America they lived in. They believed that in the end, everyone, whether they were black or white or different nationalities or backgrounds or whatever, in the end, everyone was an American and they cared about the country, even though they just had different varying opinions about, how to get there. This isn't your grandparents' United States of America. But you feel that way. You think that way. You want it to be that way. You're that 40-year-old, soft, out-of-shape guy or girl who still thinks, in your mind, you're still 20 years old. The reality doesn't reflect that, but in your mind, you are. I'm telling you, listen to me. There are people that inhabit the United States of America that in the end, at the end of the day, don't want the best for the United States of America. Don't respect the United States of America. We have people that are literally publicly defiling the flag, the symbol of the United States of America. And there are people standing around them cheering. Those people don't want what's best for the nation. They want to destroy the nation and rebuild it as some socialist mecca. And in the meantime, destroy you and your family. Destroy the greatest nation the world has ever known. But we don't want to face that. Or we want to fix that problem, even if we acknowledge that problem. Let's say that you are that, 40-something person who realizes that they're out of shape and they're overweight. And so how are you going to fix that? You're gonna eat one less cookie a day. Hey, Jared, can you ease yourself into fitness? Can you ease yourself into weight loss? Like, I'm just gonna eat one less cookie a day, and I'm gonna lose weight.
No, you can't do that. You have to actually shock your system. Make a hard change.
You have to make a hard change because your body wants to stay that way. Your body it gets used to being like that.
Our bodies are amazing. They do actually hit a plateau or they get used to what you're doing. That's what they're meant to adapt.
That's why it's so hard to lose weight. That's why it's so hard to change, because your body gets used to it. It says, okay, this is the way we're going to be. So you get used to it. But you can't make a change with little tiny steps. That would be, and I was talking to Shane, it was kind of joking, but I said, dude, saying, well, what are you going to do? You look at your friends, your neighbors, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to vote in November. Okay. And what else? Well, that's what I'm going to do. That's like trying to cure cancer with aspirin. Well, I discovered I have this huge tumor. So what are you going to do about it? I'm going to take double doses of aspirin. Really? That's your plan? Or I want to get fit. What are you going to do? I'm going to walk. I love this one. People say, I'm going to take the stairs. Okay. So you're going to walk up 12 stairs instead of taking an elevator or whatever. Brothers and sisters. And Jared, you know this one. Well, I don't understand why I'm not losing weight. I'm on my feet all day long and I walk. No, you're
that whole like food thing that you put into your body.
Yeah. They don't make a hard change because why? A hard change is hard. Yeah, exactly. It is hard. It is difficult. And that's the reason why people don't do it, because it is difficult. It's easy to say, well, I know things are bad, but, or you give up. You just say, screw it. It's not going to get any better. I'm not even going to try. Folks, weakness in the United States of America is a disease. It's at plague proportions. Mental weakness. I'm not talking about physical weakness so much, although that is true, but mental weakness. We can't make America great again by easing ourselves into it. It's not, I know this isn't what you want to hear, but it's not going to happen. You have to make hard changes. I can't give you all the answers. Well, hell, we give you the answers every day on this show. Every day we educate you, but you need to pay attention and listen. And, well, it's Tuesday, so let's go ahead and bring it down just a notch. This weekend, I had the opportunity, or I took the opportunity to sit outside and enjoy some quiet time. I lit a cigar, I brewed a quality cup of coffee, and I started digging into a new book. And this book was a gift to me from one of our listeners, and it's called Liberal Fascism by Jonah Goldberg, and the subtitle is The Secret History of the American Left from Mussolini to the Politics of Meaning. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I don't recommend books that I've not read. And I did not finish this book. It's a very thick tome. But I'm going to tell you this. Just reading the introduction and the explanation of the book itself is worth the book. Let me say that again. If you do nothing else but read the first 30 pages of that book, it's called Liberal Fascism by Jonah Goldberg. It's worth it. It's worth the cost of admission. Now, because it helps you break down and understand that, you know what? Things don't just happen in the world by accident. And the reason that we're in a position today, the position we are in as a nation, is because of an ongoing effort to weaken and break down and destroy and attack conservatism and capitalism, and essentially to attack and destroy the founding principles of the United States of America. And this isn't something that just started last year. This isn't something that started with Comrade Barry, the community organizer. No, Comrade Barry he's essentially the lead symptom. He's like the biggest tumor in the disease. He's not the disease, but he is probably the most glaring symptom of the disease. I'm going to recommend that you go ahead and pick up that book, and thank you to the student of the gun fan that sent it to me. It's called Liberal Fascism by Jonah Goldberg, and like I said, if you just read the introduction and the explanation of the book, it's worth the price of admission. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, well, you know where you can write to. P.O. Box 405. Write to refunds at P.O. Box 405, Boulder, Colorado, and you'll get a complete refund for today's admission price. Now, tomorrow, you guys really enjoyed what we did with the, was it the Art of War? It was the Art of War, wasn't it, Jared? I did like a 4-day session on the Art of War. I decided that I'm going to do a little bit more of that, and I'm going to get into the Demon Sermon on Martial Arts. And tomorrow we're going to talk about Lesson from the Crow here. So be sure that you're tuning in, and be sure that you like, follow, thumbs up, all the stuff that we do, and share this show with at least one other person.